Flowing Grace is a second site of Batavia United Methodist Church, and we meet in Aurora at Herget Middle School. We may not be growing in numbers as fast as we like, but we're certainly growing in discipleship, and that's what we're seeing at Flowing Grace. We worship, we have a 2-hour commitment. We have equipment called Church in a Box. And Church in a Box is a big trailer, 24-foot trailer that pulls up on Sunday morning. Volunteers show up at 8 o'clock, and in 20 minutes we have an entire church set up. It's almost like a Dr. Seuss kind of thing. Hit a button and pop, everything is up. But it's a commitment by these people to get there early at 8 and to set up. Pull out the boxes, and everything is packable. Everything works, even from the altar to the sound equipment to the children's equipment. And in about 20-25 minutes, we have an entire church ready to go at Herget Middle School. We have a 9 o'clock Sunday school hour, Christian education, both adults and children and youth. And then we have 10 o'clock worship. And following worship, we break down everything and put it back in the box. It takes another 20 minutes, and we're done for the day. The atmosphere is more casual. I preach often with a cup of coffee in my hand. I wear casual clothes, but people come as they are and as they feel comfortable. And one of the most exciting things about our worship is children. We have so many children, baptisms and babies all the time, and little kids everywhere. And at first it was a distraction for a lot of folks because the kids didn't know how to be in worship. They hadn't been in worship before. But our goal is to teach children and to include them. And so as time has gone by now, the children are really learning how to be in worship. And they can still dance, and they can still sing and be have a little bit of movement, but they're understanding the importance of worship. And this is not just a Batavia United Methodist Church place and a Flowing Grace place, but we feel that this is a site where all United Methodists really need to consider being a part of. We're out in doing something fairly new and creative for the kingdom of God. And it's not for the benefit of Batavia United Methodist Church. It's not for the benefit of Flowing Grace. It's for the benefit of God. And so we would encourage all people who call themselves United Methodists or even other denominations to support us through your prayers and resources, and to partner with us. If you can help us connect to other people in the Aurora, Batavia community who are in need of a church home, something different, who maybe wouldn't darken the door of a traditional style church, but are looking for a way to connect. We hope that Flowing Grace might be that, and so please let us know. But we also think that all churches and all people should really consider trying new endeavors in this. One of the reasons we took the risk of starting Flowing Grace was to do something differently, to reach out to people who normally wouldn't find the hope and the joy and the peace and love of Christ, but might through this new style of worship and this new entity. And so we encourage people to consider new and exciting ways to spread the gospel of Christ, knowing full well that a traditional style church will fit the needs of many, but for others it may not. And so we believe that Christ showed the example to not just stay in one place, but to reach out beyond, to travel, to move out. Almost kind of like I think that these new church starts and these new faith communities are the new style of circuit riders. It's a way to get to the people. What we're teaching is we want to love God, love others, and serve, not seeking to be served. And with that in place, and with that mentality and that understanding, that theology firmly understood, folks don't question that. They understand that as they become part of Flowing Grace, what they are called to do is to reach out with the love of Christ and to share that with others and to serve. And what they find in the process is they're receiving as much love. And it's a new experience for a lot of folks. I had one young man who's going to be joining us soon, came in, and he was from another denomination, and he was checking things out. And now he's been there for 2, 3, 4 hours on a Sunday morning. He said, I never would have made it past 1 hour in the past. But because it's so exciting to serve others, he finds that it's a real solid place for him and a place of home and hope for him. And so one of the things that we're trying to do, we have a two-prong approach, is we want to do something. We have a new ministry called Do Something Ministry, and we want to do something about our faith, not just sit in a pew. And so we're going to take our ministry to the streets. We're going to take it out beyond. After worship once a month, we go out and we serve the community in some capacity. Our hope is that more money is spent on the community than on ourselves. And that would be a long-term goal of Flowing Grace. And people are very generous when they see the real need and that we can help to meet the needs of those who need food or shelter, hope, and joy. And the other thing that we're doing is we're trying to find the moment when people are open to the Spirit. We don't teach the people at Flowing Grace to be Bible-banging evangelists where they get out and they tell their neighbors, you got to believe, you've got to come. Most of the folks that we have there, that's not their style. And so we're teaching people that everybody has a moment in their life when they're seeking answers, they're seeking the truth, they're seeking hope, they're seeking love. And that's a moment where we can share that we know of something that provides hope. We know of a place that has love. We know of the source of truth. And we may not know the truth ourselves fully, but we know where to find those answers. We know where to seek. And that's a moment where we can then invite people to join us. And so for the rest of this year, we're going to teach people how to live in the moment and then do something about their faith. And we find for people at Flowing Grace, that's an exciting avenue. The other thing that we have that is pretty exciting is we have a strong vision team. And this vision team is a team that directs where we are going. At Batavia United Methodist Church, we have our vision is love God, love others, and serve. And we've taken that full throttle at Flowing Grace. And this vision team meets twice a month to plan and direct our community. And as they do, they pray. They devote themselves. And what we're finding is with these lay leaders, they're giving 8 to 10 hours a week for this endeavor. And the thing that I know, that as pastor, there's no way I can make this thing happen on my own. There's no way Mike Stoner from Batavia and I could do this thing by ourselves. That it is the hard work, devotion, and commitment of the lay leaders that is going to make Flowing Grace become an important entity in the area and a bringer of the hope of Christ. It is on the shoulders and the backs of these lay leaders that these endeavors will happen. But ultimately we know the true source is the Spirit working through us. And with that, we must rely on God fully for it to take place through prayer. But then we have to take up our part. And so I encourage lay leaders not to look at staff or pastors as the way to get these things done, but to take full authority as also ministers of the gospel, lay ministers. John Wesley, our founder, said, you know what, it's the lay folks. They're the witnesses. So it's the ministry of all lay leaders that needs to take place. And so I think my encouragement is for churches to consider that it's not about the pastor taking this and making it happen. It's got to be lay leaders with a passion and a devotion for Jesus Christ, who have a passion and devotion for others, the lost, the lonely, those in despair, those who just don't know Christ, your next door neighbor, and to make this happen for them. Even if it's not to do a second site, even if it's to revitalize your own neighborhoods, your own communities, you can do it, and you need to. It would be a sad day if the United Methodist Church stopped functioning in a community, because I think we have a lot to say, and we have a lot to do, and I think we can.